everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. So today's Wednesday, and every week on my channel from here on in, forever and ever amen, is going to be to do with journaling. As I'm introducing things on certain days of the week, I will let you know. But Wednesday is 100% about journaling, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a few things on different things each Wednesday, and this Wednesday what I'm sharing with you is I'm going to start a monthly journal insert, so a smaller journal, very inspired by Joey DeFee. She makes smaller inserts. I've been watching Crafty Ali Creates today, and she's creating a spring journal, so I've dug out some of my Edith Holden because she's inspired me. I'll leave those two ladies' channels in the description below. Please do go and have a look, especially Ali, because she's a smaller channel, so she'd really appreciate views and subscribers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one for every month. Okay, when I've done waffling in a minute, I'm going to show you me putting the first one together with the pages. I'll do a cover, I'll bind it. Okay, and then behind the scenes, as I'm making ephemera or I've got leftovers, I'll, hop on in and between and share bits with you. But one insert for every month. So obviously this month's April, I'll have to catch up, so I'll do January, February, March behind the scenes, and then I'm going to do one every month for a whole year, and then at the end of the 12 months I'm going to have a nice big fat journal with 12 inserts, one for every month of the year. And I don't know whether I will keep it or sell it or what, but I'm going to be doing it. This is going to be a work in progress. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell, and when you click it, go up and select all, and then you won't miss any of my uploads. So April, so I want to use only, for the pages, I'm going to use music paper, I'm going to use coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to use book pages. I've got some, normal paper. None of the pages will be digital. I'm not saying I'm not going to use digitals for the ephemera and to decorate, because I most definitely will. I love my digitals. As those that follow me know, get most of them from Artimaze. But the idea is also to use up the box of shame. So although I will use digitals, I will not buy any digitals to create these journal inserts, and I'm calling them junk journal inserts, and if that offends the purists, then so be it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a junk journal insert. So I'm going to go and collect some pages together, and then I will be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm just gathering my pages together, and I have come across another book which has got like the months in. So I've gone to April. I'm just removing some pages. So it's this one, Wildflower Finders Calendar by David Lang. I paid 50p for it. So I've just, it's string bound, but then each one's glued as well, so you've got to remove them carefully. So I'm getting April, that side is March, so but they're going to come out together. So I'm just getting a couple of sheets for April. I'm not going to need them all, so I'll just get maybe 3 sheets, and then I can use that month title page, and I can use the flowers to make journal cards or ephemera, or pockets or whatever. So let's just trim that off. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. So I'll keep hold of those, and I'll put those back in the book because they belong to March. Okay, so I'll use them when I do Marches. So it's going to be a lot of nature themes, flowers, birds, bees, butterflies, that kind of thing. So I've got a collection of papers here now. I'm going to use the Edith Holden to maybe in my cover, so for April's insert I might use that. So I'll put that to one side. Okay, don't know what size it's going to be yet, but whatever size this one is, I'll make the rest the same. So I found these larger pages as well, which is from another quite renowned kind of, everybody's got one. It's from the 70s or 80s. So if I fold that in half, You see, I don't want it to be too big. Let's have a look. What does that measure? 9. I don't think I want it to be any more than about 8, in honesty. So, but rather than waste, what I'll do is, where's my scoreboard? My scoreboard. There's no point making my life difficult messing about. I'm just going to score at 1 inch. I'm just going to score at 1 inch. Do it carefully because it's on the book page, and it'll just give me a small tuck rather than waste and cut it off. Maybe we should have done that edge, but I like that ripped edge, so I'll just fold that, okay, and then that can either be some kind of flip or the start of a pocket, right? Okay. And what's the width there? Because I don't want it too wide either. So I'm going to do it 8 by, what's that? What do these all come to? So this is a piece of music paper that I was using as to gesso over last night. Okay, so alright, so this book here is quite a big book. I'm going to have enough pages, so I'm going to have that as my width, and I will base all of my my journal page widths around that, which is 5 7/8. So then I might make the book cover, I don't know, 6 1/8 or 6 1/4. So I'm not going to go any bigger than 5 7/8. I'm just going with the, so it's not wasted. So that's 1 page, that's 2 pages. Slot that in there. Yeah, and then for the height, I want to trim that, don't I? So I don't want it any more than 8. So let's just trim that down to 8. I mean, if you've got a guillotine or a big, you know, a good trimmer, you can fold them and cut them all at once. I unfortunately haven't. Yeah, so that can go in there, that's 2. So I'm aiming for, well, if you're doing a monthly journal, you don't need any more than 31 pages, do you? So you probably don't need any more than about 8. 8, what do I think? 8 times 4. Yeah, you don't need any more than about 8 pages. Although, obviously, you can have as many as you want, but to keep it so it's a manageable project, if you keep it to less pages, then that's good, isn't it? Okay, does that one need trimming? That needs trimming, and it's just ripped on corner there, so I'll trim it to that size. 8. So that can be an April. Am I going to use that as a page? Or shall I use it to decorate? I'll have a think. I might use those to decorate. That's definitely a page. These are my fancy coffee dyed ones from the plastic mats that I was very kindly gifted. And I went out in the garden and I had a play and I absolutely loved it. So what we got there? So let's have a look. So I'm using up a book page and I'm using up an old music. I like these, you know, for the centres. I'll have that as the centre. I'll have that one there. Probably gesso over them. So how many sheets have we got? 1, 2, 3. Right, so we're at 4. Okay, so I do also like my graph papers and my bookkeeping papers, so let's have one of these. So I just need to cut it down to 8, I think. Trim a bit off, I'll save that, might use it for something. I'll have that in there. Yep. Okay, so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll have another one of these. Oh, look that way, that's pretty there, isn't it? Just wants trimming to 8. I'm going to trim this one, I think. And I need some. Trim it down and put that there. I want to be that way. Yep, put that way. Oh, that way's nice, isn't it? I'll have it that way, it'll be right, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what we're at now, let's have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want 2 more pages. So I found this one with some lovely butterflies. I'm just going to trim it down because I've ripped it because I couldn't undo the binding in this book. And I'm just going to have that as a page like that. So that's another one. I'm going to put that there. No, we don't want 2 of those close together. I'll put it there. That's there. Okie doke. And then I just need one more. Let me have a think. What have we got? Just find something. What's this? Well, let's just have this. Random piece off my desk. What I rolled off my brayer onto. Yeah? Okay, so it's that bit that needs trimming into 8. Because the other's fine. Alright, 1, 2, let's put it next to, we've got a plane there, so let's put it next to there. Then we've got book pages, we've got some plain pages to decorate, and we've got, I'm just going to add in, I think I'm going to add in a paper bag. Let me grab one. These paper bags that Sarah sent me, and that fits nice, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll have that. So these are, I think they're mushroom bags. Yeah, keep your mushrooms fresh. So then maybe, you know, whatever happens to this journal, whether I keep it or sell it or whatever, then for the month of April there's a little bag there as well. Yeah, just needs trimming off, doesn't it? Does it? Does it need trimming off, or shall I make that into... Yeah, I'll trim it. Trim it! Is that what's going on here? This trimmer's starting to go out of favour with me. Right. Okay. So if I have it on there, then we've got that to decorate as well. Alright, put it in the middle, like so. Alrighty. Now I can always gesso things once they're together if I decide I want to. You know, I've got a mini roller, I've got sponges, I've got lots of things. But that is the size that we're having. So it's going to be about 5 7/8, isn't it? Yeah, 5 7/8, just under. That's peeking out a bit, isn't it? That's just because of the thickness. So 5 7/8, just under 6 inches. It's literally just shy of 6 inches. By 8. Okay. So then what I need now is something to go as a cover. So I'm just going to go on the hunt. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add the cover and bind it. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so found just a generic scrapbooking page. Now it's a little bit textured, so it's nice. It's quite thick. Now it doesn't matter what you use for the cover, but it's just basically a segment cover, so one for each month, and then they're going to go collectively and be bound, so it doesn't need to be, you know, like as sturdy as a full journal cover. So I'm hoping that this is going to be big enough. I'm just going to fold it. I don't need to score that, do I? I'm just going to fold it and see, because yeah, no, let's see if it'll fit in. Yeah, just right. So, and then it's by 8, isn't it? So I am gonna score the bottom rather than cut it off. So if I score this at if I do let's have a think. If I do 8 1/8, it just gives me that little bit of leeway, so that the pages are so that it covers basically. So this is, I've scored it at 8 1/8. All right. I might need to cut those flaps if it's going to be bulky. I think I will. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm just going to, where I've scored it up to the middle, I'm just going to cut there, and then I'm just going to cut a small, can you see, just like a small wedge out, just to reduce the bulk when I fold it up. And the same here, and I'm not bothered if it's not even equal at each side or exactly the same, or if I've cut it a little bit on the wonk, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to fold that back out away. I'm just going to cut it ever so slightly more. Just take a little bit more of a wedge. Right. What that means then, you see, is that when I've got my signature sewn in there, we've just got this bit of a gap here, so it's not too bulky. In fact, let me just give that a bit of a fold. Don't know what this scrapbooking paper is. I had it given to me by my friend Rachel. She sent me heaps of it. So there we go. That's just like a little booklet. I hope the light's not too bright. Let me turn this down. Let me turn it down. Will it turn down? Minus. Yeah. Okay, so I've got the bare basics there of what I want. Anything else I want to do, I can do after. So now all I have to do is sew it in. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I've not got any difficult things like doilies or awkward stuff that needs putting in a certain place. Is that upside down? That page there, look, where I folded the lip over, wants to be the other way, doesn't it? Let's just check. Have I got it all upside down? I think I've just got it all upside down. Always check. I'm at a time. I have sewn things in upside down countless times. Right, that's fine. So put it in there like so. Find the centre. Excuse me, why? I've got a terrible upset stomach, so if you can hear it churning or bubbling, it's not me being rude. I think it's the painkillers that I've been taking some, you know, ibuprofen. I can't say it. Ibuprofen, and it's just upsetting my stomach. So I'm grabbing this because it just makes my life easier. Okay, if you don't have one, don't worry. Yeah, so, and then I always have these hanging about on my desk where I've measured. These are always roughly 8 inches, and then I find the centre point, and then I go 3/4 of an inch down from each end, and that's how I always do the holes for my journals. So okie doke. Right, and what I might do, I don't know yet, But what I might do when you just poke a hole in each one. When I come to binding them all together, I may well twine bind. I'll sew each individual one like this, and then each individual month I may twine bind, or I may do a different kind of binding to bind it together as a book. Yeah, so the fact that I'm sewing these in won't matter. Oh, my stomach's churning. Right, sorry. Where's my sewing needle? Have I put it away? I don't know if I've put my sewing needle away in a safe place that I can't remember where it is. Oh, it's there. Is that it? There it is. So those of you that have watched me before know that I use dental floss to bind my journals. I use the 3/0 pamphlet stitch. I've never felt it necessary to do any more than that. 2, 3, 4. I'll do 4 in a bit. You know, you've got all sorts of different kinds of binding and stitches, and you know, some people do 5 holes, some people do all sorts of fancy binding. If you want to learn any more advanced binding, I suggest you go and watch Nick the Booksmith, which is amazing. I don't want to complicate my life. It's fine for junk journals, or you know, your little decorative journals. A 3/0 pamphlet stitch, you don't need any more than that, unless you want to, in which case, like I say, go and see Nick the Booksmith. Okay, so you've seen me do this before. I do all of my journals the same way. I get plenty of dental floss. I always double it up so that it doesn't, it would only snap if you really pulled really hard. Dental floss is quite strong and it's way cheaper than any other. So down through the middle, okay, leave yourself a long tail. And if you think you're going to pull it all the way through and you're worried about it, then clip it in there with your pages. Just add it to your, just clip it in, okay? Alright. These clips are like £1 for however many, and I've got them everywhere. I really suggest that that's something you invest in, because it just makes your life a lot easier. Keeps the pages straight, and so that your holes stay lined up. Otherwise, if you've got to start going in page by page, you'll get frustrated. You'll still get a successful outcome, but it'll take you longer and it's frustrating. So then that's not gone in the middle. Let me just try that again. There we go. So up to the top, then all the way down to the bottom. Just have to bear with me, my hand-eye coordination is absolute garbage. I'm missing the hole that I've created. There we go. Down to the bottom, and then you go up through the middle again. I'm just going to have to release that a bit because it's a little bit... I need a bit of extra slack. Then you go back through the middle, and where these tails are this side of the stitching, you want, when you come back up, you want to be at the opposite side. And be careful not to put your needle through any of the other threads and like split them. You'll get yourself in a knot. Okay, so just move that out of the way. You don't have to have it tight until the end. So back through the same hole. Should have gone through fine. There we go. Keep it to the other side. Make sure that I am actually going to split that other one, so I'm just going to move ever so slightly. There we go. I don't want to go up in between the threads of my tails, because then when you want to start and pull it tight, it'll be tricky. So just make sure that's all straight, etc. Not loosey goosey. Give it a bit of a pull. Don't need to be so tight that, you know, you stop the blood in your fingers. I wrote like that. Then just literally tie it in a knot. And I always do them in double knots when it's a journal. And then I'm just going to trim at the bottom because I will add something on there. Maybe stick some butterflies or some little circles. You can put beads on them. I don't really like beads in my journals. I don't like oat bulka. That's just my personal thing. That's just my personal thing. And also, you know, it's nice having all things dangling down here and off the edge, but and it's decorative and it's beautiful. It's not for me. I'll do it sometimes. I'll put them on paper clips. But heavy beading and heavy all things all hanging out the bottom. I'm like, how are you going to put it on a bookshelf? You'd have to lay it flat, I suppose. But, you know, I'm like to think people will say to me, what's the point in junk journals? So if it gets where it's got so much decorative stuff hanging out of it that it makes it hard to function, then that's going to make people think even more, what's the point? So I just don't, I try not to be overly done, so it's that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue that. I think I'm going to ink and then I'm going to glue that. And so that is the basic start. That's my first insert. And so I will go away and I'm going to use this page to decorate. I might fussy cut some of it. I'm not sure yet. But I will share that with you, and I'll be doing one a month. So yeah, as I do some more decorating, I'll come and do a quick flip and show you what I'm up to. So there you go, there's your first insert of 12. If you want to follow along, that'd be great. Thanks for watching, take care, I hope it's helped. See you soon. Bye.